thank you. I prepared some slides because I like to visualize the things which I'm talking about. And maybe you will have some materials as well for that. So thank you for having me. As I said, I'm Dalibor Lukáš from company IoTor, and we are the producer of the platform SARA.hub, which I will come through after some introductory slides. So we as a IoTor, we are trying to make sense of IoT because we see a huge potential of Internet of Things for different areas of our lives, from smart buildings, smart homes, smart agriculture, smart industry 4.0, etc. But we see a lot of talking about it and less actions. So our goal and our vision is to bring the potential of IoT into the life via the small practical actions that you can start with, and you don't need to spend a fortune or spend 2 years on implementing the things, even for large buildings. So we are focusing on using non-invasive technology to really unlock the data potential of your physical assets. What does it mean? It means that we use small sensors like these, two things, battery-powered, wirelessly communicating, to sense what is happening inside the buildings, machines, energies, and using these data for managing the environment, for managing the things, and to get data for any decision makings, for making the processes better working, etc. So we are telling that we are bringing the data from the physical world to the digital world for making better use of what you already have. And so when I'm talking about Internet of Things, I feel that and think that you can use it for really getting the data and starting the processes which have never been possible before. And I see 4 areas where you can really use it. The first is the assets, like the machines, devices, and you can improve the productivity and the useful lifetime of these things by better maintaining, better planning, better utilizing of the things. I will get into more. Then the energy, of course, energy and energy consumption is a big theme of the current days. So, optimizing the consumption, reducing the CO2, everything is, very popular now. The third space is the environment. So making the environment better for people. I mean, in this sense, the environment of the buildings here. So really make the environment better for people to gain the better productivity and even get them healthier by better conditions for temperature, humidity, CO2, etc. And don't forget that the environment is not good for people, but also for the machines and equipment. That's in production sites, but it's still valid even for this. And then the fourth pillar for us is people, and it doesn't mean that we will put the sensors on people, even it's possible, of course. But what we are trying to achieve is to help people to eliminate the routine and annoying tasks, like routine checking of some device, whether it's working or not, and spend this time for more productive and more valuable things. So I just want to step with few of these pillars a little bit more. So when I'm talking about the energy, so all of you maybe know about the remote readings of the energies, like water, gas, heating, electricity, and using it in different places like industrial sites, buildings, rental premises, etc. And what we are focusing on is that we are able to put very small gadgets, sensors to the electrometers, water meters, and start reading the information, and without installing any sophisticated, any hard structure or hard wires, for example, because we just connect these small sensors. We are transmitting the data over the wireless network, which you don't need to even establish within the building, and then we use the cloud platform to display and to react. So by doing this, you can even save a lot of money because you know about the consumption and you start to optimize it. And of course, you can react on some misuse like broken pipes, or somebody is mining the cryptocurrency in your premises, etc. So you can save a lot of money by just installing small sensors, and you don't even need, in many cases, to install the new electrometers or water meters. Most of the sensors are able to connect to the already installed devices there, so it's then quite easy and cheap. You can then see, for example, this is in our platform. I will get back to that. You can then see it in some nice view. The second topic, second area is environment. And this is, again, because the energy, of course, and all these pillars are connected to smart buildings. So the environment, I mean the environment within the buildings. It doesn't matter if it is offices, warehouse, is any technical rooms, or the production boiler rooms, etc. We can monitor very easily by just using these small sensors, battery powered, wirelessly communicating. We can monitor the temperature, humidity, CO2, lighting, number of people, level of noise, water level, whether it's cooling, and fire detection. So we can monitor a lot of things, and then react on what is happening. And again, you don't need to install a sophisticated network there. You don't need to install the virus. You can start very easily there, and you can use this for doing the optimization of settings of your building. And you can ensure that there will be right conditions for people, by combining the right temperature, humidity, CO2 level, even in meeting rooms, for example, and allow the people to really work better and in a healthier environment, especially then, this relation between the humidity and CO2 to the health of the people and respiration things is proven. So definitely this is something which can help you to really make the environment even better for and gain some certification for the smart buildings, and without, to be honest, without the huge investments, and even for the older buildings. And you can do this not only for the offices, as I mentioned, but for other rooms and other premises as well. So for warehouses, for goods, or like on this picture, you can have the monitoring of, for example, the data center rooms or small rooms, the technical rooms, where you can see different levels of temperatures, and being able to really react on what if the conditions are changing. The third pillar are devices or the assets. So we are again able to quite easily monitor whether the device is working, where it is, if it's running on the good level of temperature, good level of noise, vibrations, pressure, etc. And we can, by doing this, monitor whether we need any assistance there or not. And I had a lot of cases from different places and different sites where people just been going to see the technology, whether it's running or not. Trust me that it's still true even in 21st century, that you can definitely see people just going to see whether there is a good temperature in the technical room, whether this diesel aggregate or power generator is running or not. And by just using these small sensors and having this platform, you can easily get notified when something is wrong, something is not going, not running, or it's started to run. So, and you can even count the operation time, a number of cycles, and based on that, you can react on in the maintenance, for example. So we've been, for example, able with some demi water preparation unit with regeneration. This was the very recent action, and there have been people coming. It's quite old, to be honest, but still working unit, and people were going there to see whether the light is on, to count the cycles of regeneration, to change the fluid there. And we just connect kind of this device with the cable to connect to the light, and and we can see whether it's light is on or off, and counting the cycles. So, and it's easy to do without changing the technology completely. And so you can, even for the old and legacy technology, to get and make them smart, because when we are talking about smart, it's not only about installing the new things, very modern ones, but make the even 40 years old technology, sometimes you get there, being smart. And this is what I really like, that we can get these things smarter and make the management of and maintenance of these things much clever. And for example, we have one cooperating company who produce the sensors for noise level, and together and combining the machine learning things, we are able to identify when something is getting to be broken. So we as you know, sometimes you just listen and you hear that something is not good in the device, and this is exactly what we are doing with this neuron network and machine learning, that we are able to teach this software to really understand what is going on and react as soon as possible that something is going to happen, and repair something before it's totally broken. So definitely this saves a lot of money for quite a lower investment. And then there was the fourth pillar, and I would like to show one use case which is close to us, because IoTor is part of the Okin Group, which is the large facility management company for Central and Eastern Europe. And here, this is definitely connected to this smart buildings and smart facility management. And this is about the cleaning of the premises. And not only that we are able to much better monitor whether there is a cleaning stuff already in place, whether the machines are running, but what we are doing is that by sensors of motion sensors, the sensors of the CO2, for example, etc., we are able to monitor whether there are people in a premises, and to plan the cleaning based on the situation. So then we can optimize the cleaning plan and do the cleaning much wisely. And even we are using, for example, these small gadgets, small sensors with the button, and people can even ask for some cleaning or support, whether they are in, for example, in some meeting room and need the assistance there. So this is the reactive cleaning. So these are the four pillars or four areas where I see that Internet of Things can help in the buildings and making them more smarter. And it doesn't necessarily need to install the new sophisticated systems like BMSs, etc. We can even work with some of them, of course, but we can even equip the building and premises with these sensors, small, non-invasive, battery-powered sensors, which you just put on the wall. You transmit all these data by IoT networks, which doesn't need to be installed usually in the premises, or it doesn't connect to the Wi-Fi's or a local area network where you usually need your IT support and approvals, etc. So it's really very easy to put there, and you then collect the data, visualize them, and what is very important is to make an action based on what is happening in the premise. And this is why, and now I'm getting to what we are doing, and what is our goal is the SARA.hub, the Smart Asset with Rapid Action software, which is one place where you can monitor all these things in one place, and you can define the actions for different situations. Because what I think is the most important with Internet of Things is not about the collecting the data only, but enabling the reaction, to really do the reaction based on data you get it from the world, and to get this data and to react. What is the second most important thing is the integration, because you have this data in different systems. You have it in building management system, you have them from the different sensors, you have it from different IT systems. So you gather the data from different sources. This is the integration on the sensing part. Then you do this automation and on all the things. And then there is necessary to integrate this IoT space with existing systems like different service desk or the CAFM systems. That the action which I'm talking about is then showed and activated in the systems users are already using. So we don't need to, or we don't have to force people to use something new, but we can get the sensors and different source of data, do the automation, and create the action in the system they are already using. And this is what we are about. So if I summarize what SARA is the collection of data about assets, environment, and energy, and people from different sources to one place. It's about to visualize the status and the situation through the hierarchical digital twin-based dashboards. It's about enabling the automatic response to changes in the environment, devices, and energies, and via the integration to start the connected processes and actions even in different systems. And where we are using it mostly is to automated monitoring and management of the devices and the machines, to reduce the energy consumption because you save the money and you save the planet. Then the healthy and productive environment for people and machines and assets, and smart maintenance via the prediction and fact-based decision and automation. So this is the predictive maintenance. When I just go a little bit deeper into the product and how it works, so on the input there is a status sensing, so we can connect to different sensors and systems. We collect data, we analyze them, we show them in the dashboards, we do the automation, and through the integration to different systems, we are enabling the actions. And you can see here, for example, there is many different companies which we are and the systems which we are working together with. So you can get the data from different type of sensors and systems through different networks for Internet of Things, connected to different building management systems even, and activate and transport the data and processes to different things like ServiceNow, different CAFM products from Hyver, using, for example, the Teams and 365 or different applications. So, or for example, the Salesforce. So we can, for example, when I get the real situation, I can see that something is getting broken with the lift, and I can by small sensor put into the lift, and I can do the whole automation that it will create the ticket in Salesforce to order the service action from the supplier for the maintenance of the lift. So I can do and ensure the whole process, but with as I'm using the let's say the small sensors and IoT networks, it's quite inexpensive and cheap operation of these things. So this was about what we are doing in a nutshell. But we are not only doing, of course, the SARA.hub, but and implementing, but we can start with you, for example, with some inspirational workshop to talk about what is possible, what are your needs, what is your situation. Then we can develop the whole solution or the design, use this SARA.hub, integrate different hardware, BMS, HVACs, sensors, and then even integrate with the processes and other systems. So we are like the one-stop shop for this. So that's all from me. So my question is, if you are ready to make sense of IoT together with us and make the building smarter by lower investment. So that was my part. Now, if you have any questions or do you want to see more about the platform, about our solution, just let me know, and we can do it now or later. Walter, are you there?
Yes, I am, but I need to click on the buttons. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, we have a question. How difficult is it to implement?
It's a quite easy. So as I mentioned, the sensors are these type of devices. You can just put it by the double-sided tape somewhere. You just connect it. So putting the sensors is quite easy. It's a matter of hours, minutes, hours. They are pre-developed, and then create the environment in the SARA.hub is again quite easy because it's cloud-based. It's prepared already. So usually it's a matter of days to really do it, to prepare, or hours or days, of course. So,
and where is it now being active, and which kind of countries are you active right now?
We are currently active mostly in the Central Europe as our home countries, so Czech Republic, Slovakia, and we have some opening projects in Poland, Romania, and others. So, and of course, we are discussing with some Nordic and Western countries as well, but we are starting from our homeland, to be honest.
Yeah, everybody is doing that, and I think that's the right way to do it. Other question is, where do you see the most happening? Is it the new build stuff, or also the existing buildings?
I think that when you are talking about the new buildings, a lot of big players are already trying to get there with their BMS and big systems, but I'm not targeting there, to be honest. I'm going for let's say, the buildings where these modern and enhanced systems are not present, because we can do quite big benefit for these buildings with lower investment. So usually we are getting into the older buildings or buildings which are not equipped with this, and we are even, for example, usually using, for example, this device with few just wires to connect to the existing boiler systems or let's say the not connected BMSs.
Yes.
And just get this information and make them smart. We are not managing them or managing the levels and all things, but we can get at least the information that something is happening, something is not working, or there is a flooding, there is something. And to be this is like 200 euros.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like €2 per month to really get the information about what is happening. And I think it's good one. So
yeah. So how do real estate owners react when they start using your technology?
You mean the people that how they react?
Yes.
They are very they are telling that they didn't expect that they will have these informations as easy as it's possible. Yeah. And that now they know what is happening there, and that it saves the time of the people who are managing the premises and buildings, and this is where we are most right now, to get the energy readings, to get this machine management and the building management system, but we are getting back to the office spaces as well with this CO2 and temperature and this one. But if we are talking about where it's mostly used now, it's more in the maintenance part, energy readings and consumption savings, and then the maintenance of the buildings and equipment connected to the buildings.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. I think that's an amazing solutions, and I hope many more buildings will come your way, and so we can create a better built environment altogether, because there is a lot of buildings in Europe that needs to be becoming a little bit more smart. so we can help them. So that's amazing technology that you have.
Yeah, and it's just, there are different, more different use cases. For example, I know that, for example, in Germany, there is a big movement around the radon, the radon concentration in the buildings. And we have the radon, sensor.
Yeah.
And we can even start by again, with similar device, we can start the ventilation. So we are able to, do this, measuring of CO2 or radon or other things, and start the ventilation. For example, just switching on something.
Yes.
It's easy. It's working, and because we don't want to do the word complicated, and our goal is to use very easy solutions.
Easy technology.
Yeah, easy technology to start it, in a minutes or hours.
Yeah, cool. Well, thank you very much. If we can ever help you to connect you to buildings, just let us know, and we're here to help you.
Okay, thank you a lot, and enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.